Hi everyone, and welcome to my Leonardo AI dashboard, where you see now just some of the images that I have been creating. I'm a writer as well as an author, so I've been working on bringing images to my stories, and this is one of the reasons why I fell in love immediately with Leonardo AI. I'm somebody who unfortunately cannot draw a straight line with a ruler, so the idea that I can use what little imagination I have to create images that I think my characters would be in situations that would bring the story more to life, I am down with it, so that's what I did. One thing that I found was that I've been working with DALL-E, which is the OpenAI image generator, for months, and while I liked it, I was like, there's still something more that I was missing. And I tried others. I think there was Dream Studio. I think I looked at Midjourney, but by the time I got to Midjourney, it was completely paid. And I had tried a few others. But when I encountered Leonardo AI, I was impressed, first of all, that they actually gave you 150 tokens free per day. Not per month, per day. And in this case, my tokens generate in the next 11 hours. So that's about 6 o'clock my time this evening, 6 or 7 o'clock this evening. So I could actually sit there and play around with it. Another reason why I like Leonardo AI is that you can basically, hold on, let me actually click on this part right here and go into the featured models. They have a ton of models you can work for, but they also have recent creations that you can work from. You can create stickers. This is actually from Tanvir Tamim, who's, I believe, he creates game. He's a world builder for games. And then you have all of these different that you can actually draw from. When you go into this Tanvir Tamim one, which is one of the most beautiful pictures I'd seen, you can actually remix the image and work with that prompt and the negative prompt along with it. But let me just start off let's start off with the whole image generation just from scratch, and then I'll go back and grab something and we can play around with it. But when it comes to image generation, I already have something here, but let me get rid of this right here, which is, like I said, it's for a book, for one of my stories that I'm actually kind of bringing to life on a platform. So let me come up with something like, for example, let's see, a diamond engagement ring in a black velvet box. I'm going to use this RPG 4.0, and I'll go into the different fine-tuned models that are available in subsequent videos. I'm not going to use negative prompt because I want to see what it comes up with. And I'm going to have it come up with 2 images just to see. Alright, so let's go generate and see what happens. So again, this is a free account, and of course they're telling me, if I upgrade, I'll upgrade immediately or whenever I get a chance. But for right now, I'm just going to deal with this. So right here we're looking at, this is what the image came up with for a diamond engagement, which is not bad. This is some extraneous image that sometimes it does that, and especially since I didn't put in a negative prompt, it'll just come up with this on its own. And I think my guidance scale here, which, just an FYI, the guidance scale is how strongly your prompt is weighted. So if you want your prompt to be more of an 8 or a 9, that would be ideal. They do not recommend that you go all the way to 12. See, when you go to something like 17, it throws up an error or a caution. So you want to keep your guidance scale, if you are using Leonardo AI, you want to keep your guidance scale to between 7 and 9, ideally. So let me go ahead and just keep that at 8, because that's usually where I keep my guidance scales in general. And we can go here, and this actually looks like a pretty good rendering of a diamond ring. So this is something I can definitely use in one part of my story as I'm going for later on. Another thing that I can definitely use it for is, for generating characters. So let's go back to the recent creations, and let's choose, I'm always going to be choosing this beautiful picture by Tanvir Tamim, or I think this one was generated with Deliberate 1.1, which is another, this is RPG, okay, I'll use this one as well, which they're different fine-tuned models, and I find myself gravitating towards 3 or 4 of them that are really generating some good results. So I'm actually going to go with this as a base model. So this is a picture of a full head to shoulder portrait of a young woman. It looks like she's in a school uniform. So let's go ahead and remix this. When you remix it, it'll copy the prompt and all the generation settings. Now, when it does that, you think that you would get the same image. You will never get the same image as what you're seeing. It does not work that way. I'll go into some other stuff as far as the image to image and the image prompt sections, which are more advanced features in subsequent videos. But this is just an idea of what it could look like. Then when you go ahead and do the remix, you'll take a look and see what your image generates using the same settings. Now, one of the most important things about dealing with AI generation is like the negative prompt. I'm going to turn on the negative prompt for this one. And like anything in life, you want to make sure you know what you want, and you also want to make sure you specify what you don't want. AI has a tendency to really add extra limbs, extra digits. We're talking somebody with like 7 fingers with 2 different arms, unless you actually want a character or a rendering to have 2 different arms or 7 fingers. Then it's a good idea to put in the negative prompt so that it gives it some kind of a structure. Now, having said that, it'll do what it wants anyway. There are times when I put in a very strong negative prompt and I will still get somebody who's got 6 fingers. But that's when I go in and I actually fix it in the art canvas. Hold on, this is the AI canvas right here. And I actually can go in and the picture will allow me to go edit it in the canvas, and I can kind of play around with it and get it to where I want. But let's go back into image generation tools, and let's go ahead and see how this particular image render came out. As you can see, it is coming up with a 512 by 1024 image. Well, and she's got 2 heads. One thing I have realized is that if the image is a little too long, I'm going to actually bring it down a little bit. I'm going to put my guidance scale to 8. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. It's still beautiful images though. So let me go ahead, and I've brought it down to that and see what I can come up with. Yes, okay, this is much better. I find that whenever the image is long, basically it's 1024 height or higher, or yeah, that's about 1024 height. The images tend to kind of stack on each other for some strange reason. So what I do is I bring it down to 512 or 768, and it comes out really cute. These are really cute girls. Awesome. And that's one of the ways that you can generate images. If you have been whitelisted for Leonardo AI and you're kind of nervous about playing around it, don't be. Go ahead and play around with it as much as you can. One of the best ways to do that is, as I've shown you, is to go into the community, grab an image you like, and then just really go ahead and play around with it and see what it does. For example, I was going to do something else, but let me go ahead and play around with this a little bit more. Okay, just an FYI, Unreal Engine 5 is a game development software, and it really gives it when you put that in a prompt, it really helps to give it a nice not a cleaner look, but it definitely looks a little bit more realistic. Soft pastel colors, photorealism. You'll find a lot of the images that you'll probably see on there, people are going for photorealism, and people are even going to hyperrealism. So let's go with Cute Student Model. She's got smooth skin, symmetrical natural skin texture. Let's see, simple background. Okay, let's make her background like a school playground. Okay, background, I like background. School playground. Okay. Let's take a look at RPG and see what happens. Okay, let me try a full body shot. And see what happens. Okay. Okay. This one has definitely brought up a little bit more of a school background. I didn't specify if it was a school room, school playground. It actually has come up with stuff, so it's actually looking pretty good. Let me try a different model. Dream Shape or Leonardo Diffusion. Let me try Leonardo Diffusion. Actually, let me try Leonardo Diffusion, Leonardo Style on this and see what comes up. Okay, this is a much more, as you can see with this one, you can see that there's she's on the outside, and it's much, the background is more of what I wanted or what I'd specified in the prompt. And this little girl, she's in her room. She looks really cute in her uniform, and she looks like she's either in a classroom or in an outside space. So you can definitely play around with these images, play around with the prompts. I'll include the prompt and the negative prompt in the description for you to play around with. And if you are using a tool like Leonardo AI, or I believe there's also Blue Willow, I haven't gotten in on that one yet, so I wanted to I'll check on that another time. But if you're able to play around, if you're in Blue Willow and you want to play around, add these prompts and see what comes up with, see what it comes up with, and see what you can do. Let me know in the comments. Of course, like and subscribe, please, to help this channel going. But let me know in the comments if you would be interested in learning more about, like, say, image to image, and how to basically, and a little bit more about how to grab a community image and practice your renderings, and maybe a step-by-step. But let me know what you guys want to do. And thank you so much. And again, like, subscribe, comment. Thank you. Have a good one.